Hi, my name is Cameron Brewer, and I'm with the Barrett Cares Committee team. We did snack bags, and basically what we did is we got our community together, and we all donated some chips, juices, some dog treats, and stuff like that. And then we all put them into little baggies, and I think that we had so much that we could get two per person, which is really good. This is my last school year, so I think I've learned a lot, especially to be kind, caring, to everyone, not just to our classmates, to our peers, just be kind to everyone. It was just a fun experience. I got to do with some of my classmates, which is really good.
On December 11th, 2020, the Great House Shryack Traditional School community was encouraged to help aid the homeless by bringing in items for Louisville's homeless population. Items included stockings, hand warmers, hats, gloves, socks, decks of cards, chapsticks, snacks, and individually wrapped candy. Throughout the event, Great House staff came out to greet parents and gather goodies during the drive-by. Goodies were then stuffed into stockings and packaged up for delivery. In total, 337 generously filled stockings were provided to keep Louisville warm homeless outreach. This project was very fun and very rewarding. Staff members were able to see students and families while collecting goodies that went to a great cause.
I would like to thank Ms. Clemens for always talking to me in the mornings when I'm in person and for never failing to make her students feel loved, especially during COVID. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Kelly for always encouraging me and supporting me in geometry.
My name is Nairi. I am the creative writing teacher here at Wheatley Elementary School, where I infuse hip-hop-based education into writing.
Our We Day project is focused on the violence in our community, also around the world. Because if you look on the news, there's always something happening every day.
I wanted them to take what they have inside and just use it as a vehicle for change.
We just got inspired to write a rap, a song, and a dance about it.
I just let them write, and then after they write, we talk it out, and then we put it together.
We started with a hook. It's time to end the silence and put a stop to all this violence.
The beat making, it was fun, and I just like coming up with beats to go with the song. I really think all the kids in the world should just get a chance once to just go beat making. It's really cool.
The dancing, we have a lot of girls that love the dance. They started to make dances up, and then they started to come together, get more girls, and they started doing dances.
The dancers have to use dances that speak to the lyrics of the song.
We want to introduce it to somebody so they can spread it to the world.
Put it on YouTube, share it at We Day.
They know other schools exist, but to go to a big platform like We Day, they get to see those other schools in action.
I think people and teens is gonna look at it and be like, not only adults is telling me to put my guns away, but kids are telling me to put my gun away.
It might inspire them to do what we're doing and keep it going.
We are members of Great House Student Advisory Club.
We've had the opportunity to create Great House's first ever Kindness Week. The purpose of this week was to encourage students to spread kindness as much as they can in their daily lives.
Kindness Week consisted of students completing activities around the themes of mindfulness, caring, self-love, thoughtfulness, and friendship.
Students were also given the opportunity to participate in a random acts of kindness challenge and a poem competition.
Over 600 students participate in Kindness Week from grades K to 5. This week was fun for students and staff.
We look forward to doing more projects like this in the future.
Hi, I'm Emery.
And I'm Sophia, and we're both sophomores in Lexington, Kentucky.
I go to Henry Clay.
And I go to Lafayette.
We're part of Sunrise Movement, which is a youth movement for a Green New Deal, which would include good green jobs for anyone who wanted it, and the transition from our dependence on fossil fuels and non-renewables.
So part of Sunrise Movement is fighting for the Green New Deal. And so locally, as a hub, we are working on an initiative to create a local climate plan similar to the Green New Deal that aims to radically transform Lexington's infrastructure and economy and support a just transition into the green energy sector.
We're doing this by collaborating with partners locally and learning from different Sunrise hubs that have done this across the country.
We hope to launch the campaign later this year, and right now we're just focusing on getting input from the community and from organizations around the city to make sure that our plan is reflective of what everybody in our community wants and needs out of a climate plan like this. So yeah.
Ronald Atkinson, Ronald Skillern, and Stacy Heineman for teaching me how to use my voice and for always showing me love.
I'd like to thank Mr. Miller for being so helpful and supportive in this weird time we're all going through.
Hi, my name is Grace Cuenca, and I am a sixth grader at Barrett Traditional Middle School. So at my church, we love helping out in the community, and we have always been doing that. But when COVID struck in March last year, there wasn't a really good way that we could give back to the community through COVID. So we were kind of thinking about doing something for winter since everybody's been so cold and everybody needed something. We were thinking about giving away these winter bags. And the winter bags have like these gloves and a hat and like hand sanitizer and a gift card to a gas station where they could get some warm food for once. And we would always do something to help the homeless or help somebody or help a community every year. And we wanted to help the homeless. So we decided to make those winter bags. And they've really impacted our whole community because now the people who are homeless and don't have enough food to eat, who don't even have a roof over their head, can have something that they can use and something that they're grateful for. And we did it because we knew that people were suffering during COVID and we didn't want them to go into something even less and something else to worry about through this year. And we all learned that even if there is a conflict in our world right now, there's still a way that you can give back to the community, even if it's not a way that you wanted. So we decided to do that, and we have all been really happy, and we hope that the people who were homeless and got these bags are also really grateful. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
We Day Kentucky begins in 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
This year, for our We Day project, we are making affirmation bingo cards for different organizations.
And we thought it was a great idea for a We Day project because it lifted all of us up.
So a regular bingo card will like have a word on it and somebody would say a word and you would just put a chip on there. But our bingo cards have nice quotes that uplift you. So you are beautiful, you are capable.
And if you get a bingo, you're supposed to say, I am special. You are those things.
And it's a way to encourage people.
We have a house system here, so we have 4 houses, so all 4 of those charities will get a kit of bingo cards, and then there are select other charities that they felt would really appreciate and benefit from the bingo cards too. So altogether, we will have 20 organizations that will receive our bingo kits.
We've been working really hard on these projects, trying to get them out to the charities.
We want to play the games with them. We actually want to have them experience it firsthand with us.
They're going to have smiles on their faces, seeing other kids coming to help them out, have fun with them.
I think it's going to make the community happy because you're saying nice things about yourself, and some people don't hear nice things or don't think nice things about themselves. So the bingo cards can help them to have more self-confidence.
We Day is a fun experience to get to learn about how to help other people in your community.
And I'm just excited to hear what all the other schools are doing to help the community.
I am one of a kind. You are blessed. I am an amazing spirit.
I am a gift from God.
You are worth more than gold.
You are ready to take on the world.
We Day Kentucky begins in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, everyone.
Speak truth. Speak power. Love. Peace. Joy. Justice. Yo, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all my We Day family, all of you awesome people who are doing amazing things, being so creative to help out your communities. Don't stop. Keep standing up for others, for social issues that you believe in. Stay engaged, my friends. Stay aware of our ever-changing world so you can go beyond compassion, so you can push for change, be the change. And while you do that, don't forget to be you. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth and I am a sixth grader at Barrett Traditional Middle School in Louisville, Kentucky. A service project that we did was my homeroom class collected over $750 for the Kentucky Humane Society. It benefited all of the animals that they help, and we did it because it was a project that we were really passionate about because we all loved animals. I learned how to develop my communication skills, and I also took a lot of leadership and responsibility for this project, and so that helped me grow a lot.
We Day Kentucky begins in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, everyone.
Hi, We Day Kentucky. My name is Mia Osborne, and I'm a senior, and I'm with a group of passionate students who are working to create positive change in our world. So each of us is going to be sharing about an issue that we're passionate about. I am working towards ending racial discrimination. This issue is important to me because I believe that everyone deserves to be treated with respect and to be included.
My name is Channing and I'm in 5th grade. I am passionate about ending pollution because it is harming people and animals.
It's Jake Harmon. I'm in 8th grade at Sacred Heart Model School, and I want to end cancer. We lose millions of people to it every year, and there's no reason that it should continue.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I am in 11th grade, and I wish for the world to be green because I want everybody to reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Hi, my name is Siobhan, and I'm in 4th grade. I wish everybody could have clean water all around the world, and my passion is to get everybody to have clean water.
I'm Bailey. I'm a junior in high school. My sign says I believe in gender equity is because I just feel like we still struggle, even in today's world, to get equal rights for women and men, and just for people to be validated and know that it's not about gender, it's about being human.
My name is Lexi, and I'm in 6th grade. I believe access to clean water is a human right, and I'm motivated to do my part to make sure all communities have clean water.
I am Elizabeth Bell, and I'm in 5th grade. I am passionate about ending hunger because there are people not having food. We are just throwing food away.
Hello, my name is Hudson Reed, and I'm in second grade. I wish for racial equality because a lot of people, they get judged, and I don't think that's okay. So they need to end it so people of different races can not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Okay, we'll go, everyone. Bear with me 1 second.
We Day Kentucky is now. Please welcome your hosts, Alexis and Ben.
Yeah! What's up, everybody?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to We Day Kentucky 2021. I'm your host, Alexis, along with my friend Ben.
Hey, y'all.
Let's get this started off with the performance of Louisville's own Chase Dean.
Yeah!
Hello, I'm Chase Dean. This is Journey Hicks and Brendan Smith, and we will be singing What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know that we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, 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 we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, yeah. Only love can conquer hate. You know that we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket signs, brother, and picket lines, brother. Punish me, brother, with brutality, brother. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? 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 Mother, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong, but who are they to judge us simply 'cause our hair is long? You know that we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket signs, sister, picket lines, sister, punish me, sister, with brutality, sister. Talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on? 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 Yeah. What's going on? right, thank you. Back to you.
I love it. So good. Thanks, Chase. We've got a great show lined up for you all today. A special performance from poets, dancers, musicians. We'll listen in on some conversations from some engaged youth that are working to make a positive impact in their community and in their environment. And of course, some classic epic We Day speakers. It's going to be a great one, Alexis.
Definitely. I cannot wait. And I know that we're all a little zoomed out over this past year, but I mean, look at us. We're here.
That's right.
This is different.
Yep.
And cross our fingers that next year we'll all be together to celebrating We.
That's right. I really, really look forward to that because We Day is all about the power of we and building better communities through service. Since it started, We Day Kentucky has led students to generate over 500,000 service hours. That's 500,000 hours
500,000.
changing the world through service. And normally you earn your ticket to We Day through service, but this year we've all earned it because we've all been participating in service by staying healthy at home. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And all of those little hours, whether you're at home or whether you're in your community, they add up. They transform our community and our future because change is going to come. But how are you going to make that change happen that you want to see? Our show today is divided into 3 pillars: community health and well-being, environmental justice, and racial justice, plus some fun social media breaks that we get to take.
Yes. Well said, Alexis. All right. For all you all out there watching, we want to hear from you. And our social media correspondent, Caden Mulrooney, is here to share a little bit more about how you can participate.
What's up, We Day? I'm Caden Mulrooney, your social media host for this program, and I'm so excited to be spending my 5th We Day with you guys, even if it is virtually. Throughout this entire program, I'll be working behind the scenes with my social media team, Leo, Floral, and Arion, to stay connected with you all through Instagram. And by the way, if you aren't already, go ahead and follow us on Instagram at YouthVoicesKY, where you can stay updated on any polls, questions, and behind the scenes footage that we'll be posting throughout the entire program. Like Ben and Alexis said, we'll have a question or poll for each of the 3 pillars of We Day, and it's up to you guys to answer it. So once the poll is closed, one of the social media team members is going to come back up and share the results with you all. The question for the first pillar will be posted in just a little bit, but for now, it's back to you all, Ben and Alexis.
Thanks, Caden. Let's get a pick. Nice. All right, we'll share it up on the We Day channels here. If you don't use social media, that's okay. You can put your answers into the polls on some awesome personal action plan for change, which is something that you were going to say, but I said it. Sorry.
It's all right, Ben. Now we're going to hear a quick message from We Day co-founder, Wendy Sergio.
Thanks, Ben and Alexis. Hey, We Day Kentucky, we are so glad that you're here today. We Day is about celebrating you and the action that you're taking to change the world for better. This has been a really unusual year, to say the least, but we always say, you can't buy a ticket to We Day, you earn it through service. That has not changed, and you all have earned your tickets and then some this year. But service means different things to different people. And so I'm going to paraphrase a really wonderful human being and We Day champion, Harry Pickens. And he says, service is taking something that you love to change something that you don't. And boy, has there been a lot this year not to love. So the social injustices that have been highlighted by the pandemic have been just staggering. And it's going to be really important as you all think about service to think about that through the lens of social justice. We're going to hear a lot about this today through our student presenters, our co-hosts. But before we do that, I'd like to say a few important thank yous. First of all, thank you to the Greater Louisville YMCA for hosting us today safely. Thanks to them, we're able to bring you this semi-live program, and we're thrilled. And then to our partners going back the past 9 years, thank you to all of you, because without you, we would not be able to be here today in this very challenging year. So without further ado, I am going to introduce 2 people to share some words of wisdom. First of all, We Day co-founder Craig Kielberger, who has some really great advice about change. And then Youth Board co-chair Andrew Kelmanson is going to come up, and he has some wonderful remarks and words about the day. Thank you so much, and have fun.
Hi to the incredible educators, teachers, the community members across Kentucky who have gathered for We Day. Special hello, Wendy and Cress. Thank you for all the incredible championing in the community. Change is going to come, and how will you make it happen? Now, change is part of life. Changing schools, changing significant others in times, going on to college, university, work, whatever the change is that's happening in your life. But this year, oh my gosh, this has been the year of change. Even this format, We Day, wherever you're watching this today, that is the embodiment of change. Now, when change hits us, sometimes it's really tough in our own lives. You know, you probably had a tough year. We all had tough years. And one of the toughest things to do is to reach beyond that, if you're able to, and to reach out to someone else. In fact, the very process of helping someone else can make this year maybe a little bit easier for you. So sometimes when we think about creating change in the world, we have this superhero image, the, save the girl, help the guy, make the change. And that one moment at the end of the film, the 30 seconds where it all happens. But the truth is, I don't think change happens that way. I had the honor to spend time with an incredible hero of mine and to ask her how she makes change happen. Now, you might recognize this name. Her name is Mother Teresa. And if you don't know the name, that's okay, but she's one of the embodiments of compassion of our time. She spent her entire life helping the poorest of the poor, much of it in the slums of Calcutta in India. And she reached out in incredible amounts of compassion. And I asked her, how do you do it? How do you work every single day without losing hope, helping others? And her answer was, we have to realize that in our lives, we do no great things, but we can do small things with great love. And what I think that means, the idea of small things with great love, is every single day, how do we help make that change happen? Maybe today, what can you do for your immediate family? Something with a little bit of patience to a loved one, reaching out maybe. Who are you going to call, an aunt or uncle, or someone who's maybe on their own? What will you do this week? What's a goal that you can set in your immediate community? Something that you can do that helps to make a difference with a little bit more thought to it. And this month or year, think national or even global. How can you help make a difference? So my hope is, before this whole thing wraps up, that you take the time and think, what am I going to do today, this week, and this month or year to create that epic impact? Because change, it's always happening. But with a little bit of compassion, a big dose of patience, and reaching beyond yourself, you can help make sure that change, well, it's change for the better. So thanks for being part of that change we all want to see in the world.
Thank you so much, Craig. That was really important advice for us all to hear. Now I would like to introduce one of the co-chairs of our amazing youth board, Mr. Andrew Kelmanson.
What's up, everybody? My name is Andrew Kelmanson. I'm a student at DuPont Manual High School. I'm a co-chair of the We Day Youth Board, and I'm so excited for you guys to be joining us today. Heartbreak, loss, worry. More than a year later, all of us remember what our families, our friends, our community felt on March 13th, 2020, when the delicate fabric of our lives was thrown off balance by COVID-19 and the world came to a standstill. Businesses shut closed, schools were vacated, and the energy of our community vanished momentarily. But through the most difficult of times, Kentucky watched and marveled as you, its generation of changemakers, rose to the occasion unlike any other before. No amount of social isolation could make this generation feel any less connected. No amount of doubt could make it feel any less hopeful about the future of our world. We Day 2021, this celebration is for you. You took to the streets, you took to social media, and when the challenges of the world came knocking at your door, you took your passions and used them to create colossal change right within your community. This generation has accepted the responsibility of undertaking the burden of debt, and although it didn't deserve it, has responded with the utmost amount of compassion and love. As each of you watch the amazing accomplishments that have been completed and continue to be completed in our state, let them serve as a reminder. A reminder not only that your passion plus a problem equals progress, but that the biggest mountains, the biggest challenges are the ones most worth overcoming. This year, the We Day Youth Board, along with its leadership, chose 3 areas we believe are of the most critical and greatest concern for young people. These include community health and well-being, environmental justice, and racial justice. You will hear from incredible change makers, both students and adults, who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of change in these areas. We Day, who is the change maker? The change maker isn't just the president in the White House or the representative in office. No, the change maker is the artist in high school who uses her talents to address systematic racism in her country. The change maker is the engineer in middle school who makes COVID-safe masks to protect her community. The change maker is the elementary schooler who makes cards for his local senior citizen home. So We Day, let's rejoice, let's celebrate, let's shout with joy. And when we're faced with difficult challenges, let's remember that these challenges that seem so insurmountable, so difficult, are what truly makes this generation change makers. Sit back, relax with your family, and we hope you enjoy the show. Back to you, Ben and Alexis.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I really like the idea of shouting for joy. So let's all have a cathartic shout. So you all watching there, let's do it on 3. So ready? On 1, 2, 3. You're welcome, teachers.
All right, so here's our second performance of the day. Let's welcome to the We Day stage, Ariane and Bailey performing their original poem, I Met Change.
Hello, E-Day. I'm Ariane.
And I'm Bailey.
And today we'll be performing our spoken word poem.
I couldn't forget the encounter that I had with them, even if I tried. I met Change today. He looked so frightening, but the deeper I looked into his eye, the prettier he became. I met Change today. Next to him sat Peace, and across from Peace sat Love. And when I barged through their door, indeed, I screamed at them. How can you sit here as the world gets darker by the second? How can you sit here and enjoy each other's company as if the streets aren't painted red? There's bloodshed in all 4 corners of the earth. Why have you been so vacant? I asked. They stopped me before I could go on and said to me,
Don't tell me you forgot about how you nations chased us away. You drove us out and made us castaways. You chose chaos, violence, and hatred. You told us to pack our things and depart, and we simply did what we were asked. We tried so hard, but you can only try so hard. You built up gates, you changed the locks and told us we weren't welcomed anymore. You made us outcasts and had the audacity to storm in here and put the blame on us. When will you stop blaming and realize that you are the problem and that change needs to start within you?
To love, to unity, to peace, and to change, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the nations, the towns, and even families have driven you out and made you outcasts.
To the world, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you offered us a home and we broke you. We contaminated you, and instead of filling you with love, we invited hatred to become a resident. I'm sorry that we've always known the truth, right from wrong,
good and evil, and still chose immorality. With a change of heart
and a change of ways,
let us this day surrender to love, to unity, to peace, and to change. Back to you guys.
That is just so beautiful.
Amazing.
I love personifying change and all of these other emotions and talking to them, because it's hard to process all these things, but writing it down in a letter and just sending it off and being like, I'm letting go of that. It's really beautiful. I really appreciate that. Thanks for your words and performance, Ariana and Bailey. And thanks, Wendy and Andrew, for introducing us to so many amazing youth. Such a powerful way to start the program, you know?
Definitely, Ben. I just couldn't have been more inspired. Now we have a special guest here for you all today. Let's welcome Mayor Fisher to the stage, who's here to speak on community health here in Louisville during COVID.
Woo.
All right. Thank you, Alexis, and thank you, Ben. It's great to be with you guys. You know, normally we have this event at the Kentucky Center, and hopefully we'll be back there for next year's We Day, but whatever comes, We Day will endure. And one of the lessons of this time is that when we face challenges, we improvise and we adapt, and then we work with friends and allies as well. So I want to thank Steve Tarver and the entire YMCA team here. They're incredible partners of the community. They do incredible work each and every day to make Louisville stronger, healthier, and a more compassionate city. And when you think about these times of challenges we have with COVID right now, to me, challenge means opportunity. And it gives us a greater opportunity than ever to show compassion for our community and to be our best selves. We just heard some fantastic stories from some young people who saw the challenges people in our community have been facing and said, how can I help? It's really a simple question that's also very powerful. And that's the essence of citizenship. People helping just because they get to be a citizen of Louisville or Kentucky or America. It's part of who we are. And there's a lot more examples from this past year. Students distributing PPE to healthcare workers during COVID, helping elderly neighbors sign up for vaccinations, distributing food to those folks that just couldn't even have food on the table, and supporting other students doing online learning. And then, of course, writing letters of appreciation to frontline workers. So I really want to say thank you to everybody for taking the time just to show these simple acts of kindness and compassion. They mean so much to the people that receive them. And for our great youth leaders, the We Day Youth Board members, they have gone above and beyond under circumstances they never envisioned. None of us did in this pandemic year that we're just getting through. So thanks to them for supporting their peers and working tirelessly to put this incredible day together that, yes, required new skills, but means also they'll have those skills for the rest of their lives. So it's a good thing sometimes when you have adversity come your way. You guys are super inspiring. And We Day is always one of my favorite parts of the annual Give a Day week of service because it's our youth leadership coming together. They're not bogged down with all the baggage that adults bring to the table and just say, we're here just to help because it's the right thing to do. We were all born with compassionate hearts, and We Day puts it to practice every year, throughout the year, day in, day out, and then climaxing in this wonderful event here. So I would want to say thank you. And for those that are saying, well, how can I help a little bit more? Give a Day is still going on. We didn't think a day was a month. We went to a week, but now it's the whole month of April. Okay, so you can go to mygiveaday.com and sign up to help somebody. Or if you've got a nonprofit project, we'll send volunteers your way as well. So please help us. So I'm really inspired by the tremendous growth of We Day each and every year. And I want to send a special thank you to Wendy and Chris Sergio. They have been amazing from the beginning of We Day, coming with this idea that they were inspired to see, and then now scaling this up to one of the most fantastic and biggest programs in the world like this. So for Chris and Wendy Sergio, I say you guys are amazing, and a big, big thank you to the Sergios. And they would say, well, that's great, Mayor, but don't stop without thanking the people that really deserve it. And that is all of our young leaders that have participated in We Day over all these years, and this year in particular. So I just want to say you all embody what compassion and kindness and service to others look like. That's the future of the world. You guys stand for our future, and that gives me a lot of hope. So you all take care and have a great day. Go We Day, stay strong, Louisville.
Thank you so much, Mary Fisher. I really appreciate all the support that you've given to our youth during these challenging times. It has been quite the year.
It sure has. So now let's keep things rolling with our Youth Voices producer, Maya Cook, interviewing Cram News founder, Olivia Seltzer, who then will cram our first pillar, community health and well-being.
Hello, We Day Kentucky. My name's Maya, and today we have a very special guest joining us, Olivia Seltzer. Now, Olivia is the founder of Cram News, and today on this program, she's going to tell us a little bit about what motivated her to create Cram as a platform for fact-based, digestible information, and also what advice she gives to students like you that want to create change in their communities. So without further ado, Olivia, I'm thrilled to get to talk to you today. And before we talk about Cram, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're talking to us from?
Yeah, well, first of all, hi, Maya. Hi, We Day Kentucky. I'm so excited to be here and so honored that I'm being interviewed. My name is Olivia Seltzer. As anybody said, I'm 17 years old and I am from Santa Barbara, California.
So current information systems are designed by profiteering companies. So Olivia, would you say that these information systems are maintaining their duty to educate and inform the public?
I like to focus on how I think media impacts Gen Z, and I think that the answer is absolutely not. They are not doing their duty for Gen Z.
Talk a little bit more about this and maybe tell us like what your process is.
Yeah, for sure. So every day I wake up at 5 a.m. to read the news. basically in every single platform out there. And then I pile up a bunch of headlines and I go through and I do what I like to call, I translate the news for a younger audience. And this isn't necessarily about dumbing down the news for a younger audience. It's more about making sure that I'm using language that is very familiar to people of our age group, and that I'm doing my best to make it digestible, accessible, and also engaging and fun when it's allowed to be.
How can we help create a space where people from all political, racial, and financial demographics can find solidarity in fact-based, pragmatic community solutions?
Yeah, what I find a lot of is I feel like people talk about bias in a very like straightforward way of like reading a story that's literally like, I don't like this person, I like this person. But most of the bias we see is a lot more subtle than that. I read a lot of different news articles. I read a lot of different stories across a lot of different platforms. And what I've noticed is that the bias that I mostly see is in the kinds of stories that are being reported. And I think that that's a really big component that people don't talk about as much. And that's something I really try to combat with the CRAM, is that I try to report on all different kinds of stories. And also a lot of times stories that maybe don't deal with a very specific political issue, and that maybe deal with more with issues that are rooted in like humanitarian things and that happen all over the world, and where us as human beings, we have a very big ability to really make an impact.
What's your biggest takeaway from your experience in spearheading such an important initiative? And you've garnered so much national, even international attention in this. So what's your biggest takeaway?
I would say my biggest takeaway is that literally anyone is capable of doing what I've done with the CRAM. It doesn't take some sort of like special skills or knowledge or anything like that. Actually, when I was little, my teachers all described me as painfully shy. I was super socially anxious, and I knew my whole life, I was like, I really want to do something to make a difference, but I just didn't know how I could. As someone who was so shy, because everyone I saw who was making a difference, they were like giving speeches and like leading marches and protests, and that all seemed like just so way out of my comfort zone. So but my whole life I've always loved writing, and I realized that writing, I could use that as a tool to create change. And I started the CRAM when I was just 13 years old, and it's now blossomed into what it is today. So my biggest takeaway is just that everyone has a passion, everyone has something that they like to do. And I feel like usually those things can be used for good and can be used to change the world in ways we might not even fully know. So that's just something that's so cool to me, is that every single young person, no matter your age, is totally capable of creating change in their communities and on a global scale.
So my final question for you today is, what's your advice for students that want to start something from scratch to serve others? Now, like really young students, what can they do?
I always say that there are a million issues out there in the world that need people just like all the students watching this to come on and help. So think about the things that you really care about, ask yourself those questions, and then also ask yourself, what kinds of things do you enjoy doing in everyday life? And try to figure out a way to kind of combine the two and use the things you would do anyway to try to positively impact the issue that you really care about. And it's much easier than people think. It can be as simple as, if you're on some sort of sports team, as going to your community and organizing a trash cleanup. Like, it can be anything as simple as that to anything as big as starting your own organization or charity. So that would really be my advice.
Well, that's fantastic. And I think that's something that all of our audience should consider. And we should all think about the ways that we can use our own individual talents, our own strengths, even if that's not public speaking, even if that's not writing. Again, it could be in art, in music, and just use these strengths to help bring change to our communities. So Olivia, thank you so much for joining us today. We are signing out.
Hi, WeDay Kentucky. I'm Olivia Seltzer. I'm a 17-year-old founder of the CRAM, and I'm so excited to be giving you the intro on community health and well-being. Usually when we think about health, we think about, say, getting a cold or the flu, or getting a headache, or breaking a bone, or diseases like cancer, to name a few. And when we think about how we get these types of illnesses, or how we have these types of health problems, it's usually pretty medical. Like, someone at my school had a cold, and since it's contagious, I got a cold. What we don't always think about is how non-medical things, like social, environmental, and economic issues, can impact our health and well-being. It starts with everyone's own social, environmental, and economic circumstances. Think people who live in areas with extreme heat have the potential to face a very different set of medical problems than those who live in areas that don't get extreme temps. But then it expands out from there. What are the underlying social and economic conditions that affect a person's ability to be healthy? Does this person not have access to good healthcare or healthcare at all? The last step is systemic causes. What are the fundamental reasons that these inequities exist in the first place? The answers to these questions depend on your community. Maybe you've heard of the Flint water crisis, or maybe you've heard of how redlining practices decades ago are causing increased health problems for mostly BIPOC today. Or maybe you've heard of how healthcare for Native Americans is far worse than healthcare for any other group of people. But there's a flip side to that. We, all of us here, can actually work to improve community health by taking a good hard look at these social, environmental, and economic determinants and changing the system to make it more equitable, just, and healthy for all.
Thanks, Maya and Olivia, for that beautiful interview. And thank you, Olivia, for cramming that definition. Now coming to the stage is Youth Board member Julia, taking us through our first live interview. Hey, Julia.
Hi, Alexis. Hi, everyone. I'm Julia. That news is amazing. I'm so glad that Olivia is helping out with We Day this year. Now we have a quick video from Sam and Caitlin about what that means locally, and then I'll interview our first guest.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. You know, part of a healthy lifestyle is checking in on your friends. So thank you for asking me how I am today. With the pandemic and remote learning, it is more important than ever to reach out to your friends and family.
So true. I really loved how Olivia defined community health and wellness. It really is so much more than just physical health. And looking deeper into how these systemic issues like racism and other things affect community health is something I'm super passionate about, and something that I think this work can help teach us a lot about society.
Even though community health and wellness seems like such a big issue, there are so many things that you can do to promote better health in your own communities. Some of the things that I've been doing for my school community are checking in on my friends. However, I've also made it a priority to help students maintain strong grades. Although remote school has been challenging for many students, I think it is critical for people, especially students, to encourage and motivate their friends. When my friends have motivated me before, my happiness and confidence increases tremendously.
That's so awesome, Sam. It's great to hear about all the work that you're doing in your community. Having access to books and resources and education in our community is something that I'm super passionate about too. I've made it a priority to serve community health and wellness by helping out at the Rosewater Used Bookstore, which provides funds and jobs to families in the Beachmont neighborhood who are facing household and food instability. It's been so great to provide support to these families and really get to know the people who live around the store. I think one of my favorite things about service is really building those relationships, and getting to meet people has helped me as much as I feel like I've been able to help them.
Caitlin, it is so cool that you're doing this. You're an inspiration to other students, and your work will cause other students to serve the community as well.
I absolutely love learning more about what service work people are doing. There are just so many ways that you can help out with community health. Maybe if you're passionate about food instability, you can organize a food drive at your school or a pickup in your neighborhood.
Caitlin, I cannot wait to see all the other cool things and service that other students have accomplished.
Now let's go over to the We Day studio. Hi, Julia. Hi, Tala.
Hi, thanks so much, you guys, for your awesome video and that work you've been doing. Next, I'm going to be interviewing Tala. So our first question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
So over the COVID-19 pandemic, we all know there was a severe PPE shortage towards the beginning. So I 3D printed and assembled over 600 face shields for healthcare and medical personnel, as well as high-risk individuals and essential workers.
So what made you decide to want to do this project?
So this was personal for me at the beginning. My dad was an ICU doctor, so I really had a firsthand look at what the shortage was and how bad it was and how much they needed it. And I also had the connections, and I knew that I could help and I could make a difference. So I wanted to make sure that I put the time I had towards something to help others.
So what advice do you have for other students looking to do service and serve their community?
Find something you're passionate about and put it towards helping people. And I know that sounds vague, but if you enjoy what you're doing, then that's just contagious and other people will want to follow through with you. And use the community around you, use your support system. Most people do want to help you and they're passionate about the same cause as you are. So use your resources and just do what you love.
Well, thank you so much, Tala. Now we're going to be hearing from two amazing students from Du Bois and two amazing students from Barrett about their excellent work.
My name is Josiah Howell. I go to WEB Du Bois Academy, and I'm in 7th grade.
Hello, my name is Xavier Barnes. I'm a 7th grader at Du Bois Academy.
Awesome. So we're going to be doing an interview about your work with Wayside Christian Mission. So Josiah, can you tell us a little bit about what y'all have been doing with Wayside Christian Mission?
First, I would like to say thank you for coming and listening to our discussion. And what we've been doing at Wayside Christian is we have been contacting and speaking with representatives to see what they're in need for. And we have made a website for them to raise money for the families that have been impacted in the organization of COVID, so we can raise money for them and help them all.
That's awesome. Xavier, can you tell us what the purpose and mission is of your project and what kind of planning you guys do to be successful?
Okay, so our purpose is to take initiative to make a difference in our community by showing empathy towards others. We are enthusiastically ready and prepared to lead and to impact our community. Our mission collectively as brothers is to positively impact our community by doing acts of kindness and by raising money to serve the homeless with food, clothing, and shelter.
What kind of planning do you guys do to have a successful project?
We develop an action plan. The action plan helps us stay organized as this helps us accomplish our goals. For example, one goal was to partner with Wayside Christian Mission, which we accomplished with the action plan.
Perfect. That's really awesome. And then this last question is for both of you guys. Why is it important to practice acts of kindness?
I'll go first. I feel like it's important to learn and show acts of kindness because in the long run, if you don't do this to other people, then like people say, what you give out is what you bring in. So I feel like if you learn it at a young age, then if you give it out, then like in the long run, it's gonna come back to you in a good way or a bad way, but in the long run, it's gonna help you out.
I think it is important to practice acts of kindness because it spreads positivity and it can change someone's life.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
What's up, We Day? My name is Eve Michael, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. You'll be happier once you read.
Hi, I'm Grace Klinka. And I'm Sarah O'Connell from Barrett Traditional Middle School. We participated in the We Day Kentucky Share Rooms in February, which were led by high school students who are members of the We Youth Board. We talked about what was happening in the community and how things had changed in good and bad ways, and how anyone could pitch in to help the community, even in small actions that could become bigger. We baked goods for first responders, and we created winter kits that had hats, gloves, and many other necessities. The next We Day Kentucky Share Room discussions will be on April 28th. Look for an email to sign up. We hope you do.
And I hope you do too. And that's it for me, We Day. Back to you and Alexis. Back to Ben and Alexis.
All right, thanks so much, you all. You got a little sneak peek of our next performer. She's back for her 5th time at We Day, Kentucky, and we're really, really excited to have her coming from Nashville, but she's Louisville's own Eve Michael.
What's up, We Day? My name is Eve Michael, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. This is actually my 5th time performing at We Day, which just sounds crazy to think about. My first 4 times was back when I was in high school, and I was just really coming into my own as a performer, and I had no idea I'd be doing this for a career. So I owe so much to We Day. It has a special place in my heart, and I'm just very excited to share with you guys. You can imagine it was a little different back then. Of course, it was in person. It was at the Kentucky Center for the Arts on a huge stage. And it was really, really cool. So if you guys get the chance to experience that, I really, really hope you do. So before I get started, I want to just go ahead and say thank you and that I'm proud of you guys because you guys are doing amazing. I mean, you all know better than most how challenging this year has really been. But I mean, you worked so hard and look at you now. You made it. You're here. Even if I'm in my dorm room, but you're here with me. I'm here with you. Okay. So I'm just very, very proud of you guys. So to show my appreciation, I'll be singing a song for you guys. It's called Confetti by Tori Kelly. So I hope you like it. I gotta keep myself in check sometimes, 'cause I tend to dream real big sometimes. The fancy outfits and the sparkly awards, my name and lights the people lined up at the doors. But I gotta remember to take it one step at a time, 'cause people seem to think that you'll be happier once you reach the top. You have it all, well I'm living for right now, 'cause what if tomorrow never comes? I'm not waiting, I'm not waiting for the confetti to fall. Oh yeah, oh. I can't just sit around and wait for my life to start. I can make a difference, put a little happiness in someone's heart. The fancy cars, the glitter and the fame, it's so nice, but it won't be worth a thing, 'cause love is bigger, so I'm stand up for love, yeah. People seem to think that you'll be happier once you reach the top. You have it all, well I'm living for right now, 'cause what if tomorrow never comes? I'm not waiting, I'm not waiting for the confetti to fall. La 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 la, ooh yeah. Oh, la 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 la. If there was a rope stretching up to the sky, with all of my dreams at the very top so high, I get so caught up in everything around me moving quickly, I forget to cherish every single moment I receive. Forget about the climb, I just wanna get there, don't wanna wait in line, even though it's so clear that I'm called to use patience on this journey that I'm on. I know that I come out alive and it'll only make me stronger. Well, everybody's focused on the high. I'll be wondering why we seem to think that you'll be happier once you reach the top. You have it all, well I'm living for right now, 'cause what if tomorrow never comes? I'm not waiting, I'm not waiting, no. People seem to think that you'll be happier once you reach the top. You have it all, I'm living for right now, hey. 'Cause what if tomorrow never comes? I'm not waiting, no, I'm not waiting for the confetti to fall. I'm not waiting to be happy. Na 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 na. Ooh yeah. Oh yeah. Yay, thank you so much, so much. I'm so, so grateful to be here. And again, I'm so proud of you guys. So yeah, like Tori says in the song, you know, you have to live every single day to the fullest and cherish it, because you never know what could happen. And that's kind of the beauty of things. So That's all I hope for you guys. I just hope you guys have the best We Day of all time. And I love you all. Thank you.
I love that song. I hope you all did too. I can't wait to hear more big things from Eve in the future. But right now, let's give a big round of applause for Superintendent Polio, who's here to talk about all of you, our students.
Hey, teachers and students, Marty Polio, Superintendent of Jefferson County Public Schools. We Day is one of my favorite days of the year. I always love the passion and enthusiasm around the auditorium when I come in person to We Day. So unfortunately, we couldn't do that this year, but we'll do the next best thing, which we've done throughout the year, is a lot of virtual. So I just wanted to take a second, first of all, to welcome you all to We Day. I think this is a fantastic event each and every year. I want to thank our teachers out there, first of all, for their hard work, and all of our school employees, public, private, other counties, it doesn't matter. The hard work has just been incredible. Students, talking to you, I want you to know, obviously, it's been a really challenging year for everyone. Whether it's the pandemic we've been facing or social injustice in our community and throughout the nation, we know it's been a challenging year. But the great part is there is hope ahead of us. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. But one thing I would challenge you to do through We Day is you can make a difference. Let's come out of this pandemic and be better than we have ever been and do things differently. And I think we have the opportunity to do that. And one of the things I've seen in my education career are the young people, students, teenagers that want to make a difference in the world and are stepping up to do that. So I know you all are the ones to do that. Let's make change in our world as we move forward. And I know we're going to have a great year ahead. And I can't wait till next year when I get to join you for We Day in person. Have a happy We Day and hope to see you soon.
Thanks so much, Superintendent Polio. I really appreciate all of your support of the students. And I think he's right. I mean, you all are the ones that can make this change. So we do hear a lot from the adults, of course, about how things have been going and the struggles, but the struggle's real for teens, right?
Definitely. Self-care is very important for everyone. And now we're going to welcome to the stage Emmeline and Samitha, who are here to talk about mental health and self-care.
Hi, my name's Emmeline. I'm 17 and I go to South Oldham High School.
Hi, my name is Shamitha. I'm 16 and I go to North Oldham High School.
Hey, We Day. I'm super excited today to talk with Shamitha about her organization called SOS. So what drove you to your mission at SOS?
I believe that our youth can really do so much more than they're given the credit and resources for. And I think the thing that's holding them back is mental health. I did some research on this once I first found out about it, and I realized that 5 million teenagers from across the US suffer from mental illness or mental health disorders.
So how does SOS work to help the mental health of others?
So above all, SOS is, like you said, a teen mental health organization. And we do that, it's by teens for teens. And the whole thing is we want to be able to increase the communication and decrease the stigmas that youth feel when talking about mental health. Basically, we take our ideas from youth who have struggled from mental health from mental illness or potential mental illness issues and what they think that would be able to help them. And then we create different programs that would be able to focus on communication, which is our big goal, and decrease mental illness in youth. So right now we have 2 big programs that we're working on. One of them is our blog and the other is our forum. Our blog is just people sharing their mental health experiences or mental illness experiences, and our forum is just teenagers being able to chat with each other. And both of these can be found on our website, which is www.sos-inc.org. And besides those 2 programs, we have 3 other big programs that are in the works. So the first one is called Stages of Support. And this kind of came about because obviously not all people who are struggling from mental illness are going through the same thing. So they might first have to tackle their issues with homelessness or poverty or substance abuse, which are all really important and really real problems. So we kind of go through the stages. Which stage are you on right now? And which stage do you need to start on to tackle your eventual mental illness issue? So we partner with, or we plan, I guess, to partner with different organizations to tackle each of these stages. The second one is SOS Pen Pals, which is kind of self-explanatory. We match people with other teenagers who can just share their experiences in a safe setting. And the third one that is also in the works is our kind of anonymous meetings where about 7 teenagers will be set in a meeting, in a Zoom meeting with a counselor or a licensed therapist, and they'll just be able to talk about their experiences in a safe setting. So the only thing that's really holding us back from taking these programs on full speed ahead is our lack of members. So obviously this is a huge problem and requires a lot of interested people who are really passionate. So we're looking out to places like We Day and organizations like this that would be able to provide us teenagers who are really, really passionate about mental health and mental illness, who would be able to join and help us with these programs and with communication.
Thank you so much, Shamitha, for sharing your expertise with us and joining us for this We Day. Now back to you, Alexis, at the We Day studio.
Thanks, guys. And you can check out the SOS link if you want to become a member. It is posted live. And that was such a wonderful talk on self-care and mental health. You know, mindfulness it's a great way for us to deal with our anxiety or any other issues that are going on. So we're going to take a moment of mindful, peaceful music to gather our thoughts. So please close your eyes and feel comfortable. Place both feet on the floor and try to just be in this moment. Release any thoughts that are coming. And just be still. And once you feel grounded, you can open your eyes and take a deep breath. And we're going to head over to Leah.
Hey, We Day. My name is Leo Toby. I am a student at DuPont Manual High School. And here are the results from our poll that we did earlier. What is something I will do to support community health and well-being? And coming out on top, we have tutoring fellow students. Just behind it, performing a random act of kindness. And then last, we have fight food insecurity. Our next poll is going to be, what is your favorite outdoor activity? Hiking, playing ball, stargazing, hammocking, hunting or fishing, running or swimming. And I am going to share with you one of my favorite We Day survival tips. Your pet can watch the show with you. All right, back to you, Ben and Alexis.
All right. Thanks so much, Leo. I wish I had my puppy dog here.
Me too.
Wait, do you have puppy dogs or cats?
I have puppies, no cats.
Yeah, well, but first of all, and it's a special day for Leo, so we all want to say happy birthday, Leo, from all of us here at We Day. We really appreciate you and all your work. Now, we've heard a lot about how we can serve people, but I think it's time to give our planet a little love and care, which reminds me of one of my very favorite Dr. Seuss books, The Lorax.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie, Ben.
You mean the book?
But I thought it was a movie.
No, I mean, it is a movie. It's just that it was a book way, way, way before it was a movie.
Oh, okay, Boomer.
Okay, so, right. Basically, but you would know this quote from the movie. It's the one where the Onceler gives the last truffle tree to the boy, and he says, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot,
Nothing is going to get better.
it's not. Yeah.
So here's Olivia from Cram News introducing our next pillar, environmental justice.
Okay, We Day Kentucky, it's time to cram environmental justice. You've probably heard a lot about climate change over the course of your life. You've probably heard all sorts of facts and figures on greenhouse gas emissions, global warming, rising seas, worsening natural disasters, and more. Part of environmental justice is taking the threat of climate change, thinking about the injustice of leaving a broken world to the coming generations, that's you, BTW, and then working to find solutions to make sure you put an end to this disaster. That's also something you can help with. But it's also thinking about the present and how climate change is already starting to impact the world, but never equally. BIPOC overwhelmingly face the worst of climate change right this very instant. And far too often, conversations about climate change leave out those people and don't acknowledge the suffering and problems they're already facing. Like community health, environmental justice is taking a magnifying glass to one issue, but through the lens of other issues, like racism or colonialism. It's making an active effort to combat the existing and very present threat of climate change, while also making sure to meaningfully and fairly involve all people, regardless of race, color, nationality, or income, in environmental laws, regulations, and policies. The two key aspects, making sure every single human being on this planet has the same degree of protection from environmental and health hazards, like climate change, and making sure every single person is given equal access to the decision-making processes when finding climate change solutions.
All right, welcome back from the cram. You ready for some environmental justice? Welcome to the We Day stage, We Day Kentucky Youth Board members, Becca and Cole, to localize our environmental impact.
Hi, We Day Kentucky. I am Becca Kalin, a sophomore at Holy Cross High School. Today, we'll be talking about environmental justice with my partner in crime, Cole.
What is up, We Day? My name is Cole Cornett, and I'm a sophomore at St. X. I just wanted to take this opportunity on this beautiful day to talk about environmental justice. Environmental justice is something that really does affect everyone. No matter your economic situation, race, or religion, we all live in one community and on one planet. So we are all totally in this together. However, people in underserved communities are often affected in a much greater way because of bad laws and policies. That's why we really all need to work together to make it fair for everyone.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have a passion for the environment because we have one Earth and we need to take responsibility for how we treat the planet. Everything that humans do to the Earth makes full circle and impacts us and everything around us. Some changes that I would love to see include companies taking responsibility for their actions. We need to take better care of our environment. Some ways that we have been raising awareness about environmental justice is by making videos, posting on social media platforms, and overall educating people.
That's awesome, Becca. Renewable energy, water conservation, and even supporting native plants and animals will make a big difference for us all. And with everything going on with climate change, we know the time to act is now.
You're right, Cole. We're doing a couple of environmental projects at my school. So I think it's time to challenge everyone that's watching We Day to take action. Start an environmental club, do a recycling project. The possibilities are endless.
That's a great idea, Becca. In fact, I think we're going to hear about some students in Lexington that are actually putting solar in their school. I can't wait to hear how they did that. So now back to We Day Studio. See you later, Becca.
See you later, Cole.
Hi, everybody. I'm Claire. I'm in 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Caroline. I'm also an 8th grader, and we're here at Providence Montessori Middle School.
And this year, our environmental justice project was
Solar panels for our school. For our project, we started it in August. It's been tough, but at the same time, it's been really fun. And it's been a lot of just getting to communicate with all these amazing people and just really getting to learn about renewable energy and how it's going to be able to relate to our school. And I think that's been a really amazing experience.
It's been super fun. Like Caroline said, there were a few challenges along the way, but it's been a super fun experience. We've gotten to meet so many people and learn so many new skills and try a bunch of things that we've never tried before. We knew that we wanted to do something that was going to help the environment, So first we looked at and researched a bunch of different kinds of renewable energy, and we decided solar would be the best for our school. So then we had to kind of get in touch with some people and call some people and figure out what our next steps might be. We met this solar panel contractor who helped us a lot, and we got a lot more people who were supporting us and helping us on the project. And we presented our project to the board and they approved it. So now we're on our way to getting solar panels for our school.
So one of the best things about getting this renewable energy is that you're replacing this really harmful, non-renewable fossil fuels. And by doing this, you're just making cleaner air for everyone. It's not just our school, it's not divided by age, race, anything. Everyone is going to be able to benefit from this. And that's why it's such an important thing that anyone that can should make a switch to renewable energy. And so that's what we did.
Caroline, what do you think was the hardest part about this project?
Claire, I think the hardest part of this project could have been maybe kind of communicating with certain adults, because obviously everyone wants to listen to adults, but sometimes you kind of just have to think, you have to be proactive on your own. And there was definitely some places where we could have communicated better, or adults in our life could have communicated better. And I'm just really glad we've been able to work through that. But that might have been a challenge for us. But otherwise, I think that there weren't that many too difficult parts about our project. I think that the main thing I would say about students getting involved is that it's not as scary as it seems. Everyone is going to be in support of it. No one's going to be thinking about any mistakes you made. People are just going to be thinking about the end goal. And we really got to see that in our project. But in the end, you have to think that, it's going to benefit the environment and it's going to benefit yourself.
And there's no need to be afraid, because like we've been saying, it's super fun. And like Caroline said, it's really going to be beneficial for the environment if you do an environmental project like this. And if you are afraid, just have people supporting you and helping you, and it'll be super fun.
Thank you all so much for listening. I'm so happy about this project. I'm so excited we're actually going to get to see it through. And I'm so happy for this opportunity that We Day has given us. So.
Yeah, this project has been so fun and we learned so much. But yeah, it was a super great experience.
Back to you, Ben.
Well, thank y'all. That's so amazing. I'm really proud of you. And it's just a great way to nudge us towards a more gentler life on this planet by installing those solar panels. But I mean, seriously, I don't know what you were doing in 8th grade, but I was not getting solar panels installed in my room.
I mean, wow, 8th graders, it's crazy to think about. Thank you all. The fabulous Louisville Leopard percussionists have performed all over the nation for artists such as Ozzy Osbourne. They are performing a special We Day rendition of David Bowie's Changes.
seeing those youngsters perform. It's just so amazing. I mean, not only are they playing all those instruments, but they're learning the parts. Just the coolest. I love it. All right, now it's time to celebrate our second annual We Film for Change. And we had submissions from all over Louisville this year, including films that touched on a few major topics, right?
Definitely. We had water preservation, climate change, and sexual harassment awareness.
And here to announce the winner is We Day co-founder Wendy Sergio.
Thanks, Ben and Alexis. This is becoming one of my favorite parts of We Day Kentucky, actually. I love the passion and the creativity that go into these films. It's so exciting to me. And unfortunately, it's always really hard to pick winners. Now, I will have to say this year, we only got high school entries. So middle school and elementary school, last year, you all really killed it. You had some great submissions. We need you to do some more. But I'm really excited about the high school submissions we got, and I'm here to announce the winners that the judges have chosen. The first one is called A Change. This is a visually powerful film about the need to protect the natural world, produced by Louisville Holy Cross High School students Becca Kalin, Dadriana Jeffries, and Helen Chin. The next film is Operation Pure Water, a very creative film raising awareness of water usage and the importance of clean water. This was produced by the Seneca High School Red Hawk Rangers. Both of these groups will receive an award of $50, and the films are going to be on our website. Our overall winning film this year is called A Walk Down the Street, and this is a really powerful film which draws attention to the problem of street harassment of teenage girls and the negative psychological effect it has on these girls, as well as steps that we can all take to address this problem. This was produced by Sophia Ritone, who is a sophomore at Atherton High School. Sophia will receive an award of $250 and a scholarship to attend a Peacecasters Media Camp. Congratulations to all of you, and to those of you who are watching, please visit our website so that you can watch these great films on there. Thank you so much. Back to you, Ben and Alexis.
Thanks, Miss Wendy.
Oh, nice hat.
Oh, really? I don't know if I'm kind of feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice.
Maybe I should just change it.
Yeah, I think maybe try something different. Yeah.
I have this one. I guess I can wear the rest of the
That's
day.
nice. It's nice. It's a little derby.
A little too dirty.
Not dirty, derby.
Derby. Oh, well, I guess I'll just change it one more time.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, I love it. Look at Baby Yoda on there.
I love Baby Yoda. My brother told me I had to wear it. Baby Yoda is always looking for balance and to restore the peace. So I thought it was only fitting to have him with us into our next section.
I agree with that. I mean, sometimes you just need to make a change in the world, and whether it's a stylish pet or a law that's not supporting your community, which naturally is our next topic.
Leadership and advocacy are skills young leaders need to learn to make change. We have Lauren and Senator McGarvey here today to talk about changing laws.
Hi, We Day. My name is Lauren Wood, and today I am so excited to be joined by Senator Morgan McGarvey, who is Kentucky's State Senate Minority Leader, and Landon Stadnick, who is serving as Scott County's Conservation District Supervisor. He's also the youngest elected official in Kentucky, and not only that, but the entire country. So thank you all so much both for being here. I'm super excited to talk to you. So you all have a lot of experience in the political process. And so first, I wanted to ask you, what inspired both of you to pursue politics, and for Landon at such a young age?
Yeah, I think what inspired me to pursue politics and what really inspired me to pursue at such a young age is going out and talking with members of my community and just walking around my school and seeing that not many people represented people my age and my age group. A lot of the people on the board where I serve now are in their 60s, 70s, that upper age group, and there's not really anybody that's looking for what best benefits us going forward and not just for right now solutions.
Yeah, when I ran for office for the first time, it's the reason I'm still in office, is I truly believe that people can make a difference. And we need people in government who reflect our values, who are willing to listen to people in the community, who are willing to work on problems and help solve them and move forward important issues, whether it's racial justice, environmental justice, whether it's good education, good healthcare for everybody. We need people championing these ideas in our government, because if that doesn't happen, then we won't see the change that we want.
Absolutely. And that's such an important idea. Government really doesn't work unless you're listening to the constituents. So next, especially when done for the right reasons, like we've talked about, political work can easily be like community service. So in what ways do you see both of yourselves serving your communities and making a positive impact with your positions?
You like to go first?
Sure. I think that being in government is absolutely public service, and that's what we do. We listen to our constituents, we see problems in our communities, and we try to help solve them. So every day is about service, and whether it's something, helping someone with unemployment, helping someone get records from the government, or even tackling big issues, again, like systemic racism or healthcare that help everybody. It's a really high form of public service.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with the senator. And while his problems are much more expansive and my problems are much more focused as a conservation district supervisor, it's definitely about seeing what our constituents need or want to be done. Just last night at one of our meetings, we were talking about making Scott County carbon neutral and giving back to the farmers who benefit and don't benefit, but give so much to our community, but don't really receive much back from it. So for every development that releases more carbon, there's going to be some sort of fee, and that fee is going to go directly back to the farmers who oftentimes are putting more carbon back into the environment and taking more out of it.
Absolutely. And that's exciting to hear some of our most important community members really getting their voices heard in government. And so to wrap up, really speaking to everyone that's listening, what would you say to young people who maybe feel that they're too young for politics or feel detached from the political realm?
Yeah. You definitely don't have to run for office to be in the political field. I know I was sort of unique in running at 15 and 17 years old, but you can still get in there and just talk about what you want to be done, express your views, because as long as everyone's heard, then the world's definitely going to be changed for the better.
Yeah, don't be detached at all. Get involved. It's so important. Everything we talk about right now is something that affects you. When we're talking about education policy, we're talking about your education. You're the ones in school right now. You're the ones who are going to be going on through school. We're talking about healthcare. You're the ones who are going to need healthcare. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about the job market for you when you enter the job market. What we've seen this year is so inspiring. We have seen young people at the tip of the spear for social change, whether it's Breonna Taylor here in Louisville, whether it's George Floyd or now Dante Wright in Minnesota. We've seen young people make these calls so that the world looks different going forward. That comes and starts with government, and it comes from you all.
Absolutely. It really does start with young people everywhere all the time. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. It was great to hear from you all. Thank you, Rita. Back to you, Ben and Alexis.
Talking about all that voting and changing laws just honestly makes me want to dance.
I know you want to get your feet moving, you want to get grooving, but we should probably like sync up our moves.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we should probably sync them up. To help us do that, here is Louisville Dance Alliance founder Josh Ford teaching us the official We Day Kentucky dance.
We on. Hi, We Day. Josh Ford here. We're going to do the We Day dance. I brought some of my dancers today. They're going to do it with you. Say hi, dancers. Yeah. All right. So everybody stand up. Let's do the We Day dance. Actually, let's talk through it first. So we're going to take the crossover. You go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And up, cross, open. Very nice. Then the boogie. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. You go up, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Then traffic control. 2 hands up, bring it down. We'll repeat. Up, bring it down. Snap and clap. Snap, twice, clap, twice. That repeats. And you clap it twice. After that, we're probably going to dance around a little bit. Feel free to dance on your own as well. Here we go. Here we go. Crossover. Again. Boogie. Nice. Traffic control. eye you guys.
Yeah, come on, come on. Oh, sorry. We're back.
Sorry, guys.
We're just practicing our We Day dance moves because that seemed like the thing to do. We were all dancing, right? I'm sure you were dancing at home.
So we're gonna keep working on our moves while Laurel catches y'all up with a little bit of social media action.
Hi everyone, my name is Laurel and we finally have the results in from our poll. So you guys said that your favorite outdoor activity is swimming and running. Woo! So our next poll is from the racial justice team and they ask, who makes this famous statement? I am not concerned with you liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. Was it A, Congressman John Lewis, B, Harriet Tubman, C, Major League Baseball player Jackie Robinson? Let us know what you think. And for our fun fact, last We Day that we had live in 2019, 2,400 students attended. All right, see you guys later. And now here's our presentation from App Harvest.
Hello, We Day Kentucky. Thanks to all of you and your teachers for the incredible commitment to service you have demonstrated this year. My name is Ramel Bradley, and I'm the Community Director here at App Harvest. At App Harvest, we are growing fresh fruit and vegetables in large, controlled environment agriculture facilities. Our Moorhead facility, spanning 60 acres, is equivalent to 23 football fields. Growing food in this way at scale addresses food insecurity and helps our society meet growing demands for food. Big shout out to all of you, and thank you for committing to making a positive change in your community. The time is now. Learn, act, change.
All right, thank you, Ramel. I just love the work that you all are doing of their App Harvest and for all the support that you're giving to the region of Appalachia. You know, it's really special to be talking about environmental justice here in Kentucky because we're in such a special part of the world with a large history in agriculture and of course, maybe a big future in agriculture as well. So all very exciting stuff, and really caring for the environment is caring for people because you can't really separate those two things.
You're right, Ben. And you know, I actually wrote a poem about some of these topics that we've been talking about.
Really?
Definitely.
Do you think you might be willing to share one poem?
Of course, anything for We Day.
Ah, yes.
Dear oppression, standing in front of you with hope in their eyes and fear in their hearts, Black people dying one by one, labeling them based on the color of their skin, not caring what they tell you when their lives are in danger. Once you believe that all people are equal, hope will begin to rise and hatred will fall, and we will all find a way to be free again.
This is a big one, We Day Kentucky. Last but definitely not least, racial justice. You've maybe already noticed that the three topics we're talking about today are all closely related. You can't talk about community health without talking about racial justice and environmental justice. You can't talk about environmental justice without talking about community health and racial justice, and well, you get the idea. First, let's start with the definition of racism. Racism is any sort of prejudice, discrimination, or overall unfair treatment directed towards a person based on their race or ethnicity. Racism can either be individual actions or systemic actions. Racial justice has to do with the systemic side of things. Imagine this: you're running a race and the person who wins first place gets some sort of big benefit in life. Let's say they get a huge cash prize. Except to get first place, you need to run 3 times as far as everyone else and still beat them. There's no real reason for this rule. The people in charge of the race just took one look at you and told you you need to run farther. So now they've made it nearly impossible for you to win first place, and you've lost out on that big life opportunity. Racial injustice is pretty much the same concept, except expanded over hundreds of years and millions of people. It's not enough to say we just need to fix the system as it is today and make sure everyone is equal, which unfortunately even that's not happening. We also need to take into consideration that BIPOC have had these huge obstacles in place for a very, very long time. That's racial justice, making sure institutions are giving equal opportunities to people of all races and ethnicities, making sure BIPOC are treated equally when it comes to the law and politics, and making sure we're taking steps, that's all of us here, to even the playing field in ways we might not even think of being unjust.
Thanks for cramming with us, Olivia. Soon, we're going to hear from Miles and Valen about racial justice. But before we do, I'd like to introduce Heather Bell from the Kentucky Center for Performing Arts.
Hey there, We Day. My name is Heather Bell, and I'm with Kentucky Performing Arts, a nonprofit based in Louisville. We're mostly known for the incredible artists that perform on our stages and the work we do throughout the state with the Governor's School for the Arts. We're also a very proud partner of We Kentucky. Young people all over the world are using their voices to inspire change. One of those distinct voices is Louisville's own Chase Dean, who has continually used the power of song to inspire, uplift, and spark action. Earlier this year, Kentucky Performing Arts had the opportunity to work with Chase and represent Kentucky on a national stage with the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. KPA is inspired and thankful for Chase for sharing his authentic voice and artistry with us all.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming. Change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Well, there were times when I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I am able to carry on. It's been a long change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will.
Thank you so much for this amazing video, Chase. I think we even saw one of our We Day MCs in there, Ben Solee. So now we're gonna go to Miles and Valen to tell us a little bit about racial justice.
Hi, We Day Kentucky. I'm Valentina, and I'm a sophomore at Sacred Heart Academy. Hi, Miles. It's great to see you. How are you doing?
Hi, Valen. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great today.
So today we will be talking about racial justice and racial injustice. Like Olivia said, racial injustice has to do with systemic racism that has spanned over hundreds of years and over millions of people. Racial injustice affects those closest to us in our very own communities in Louisville and Kentucky. Most notably, Breonna Taylor, who wrongly lost her life last year at the hands of Jonathan Mattingly, Brent Hankerson, and Miles Cosgrove of LMPD. In light of the fight for racial justice that has been so prominent in the last year, students around the world, the country, and in our very own state have had their own projects to promote racial justice. Do you know of any inspiring projects in your community, Miles?
Valen, I couldn't agree more. Systematic racism is something that holds and continues to hold minorities down from progressing in this country, but more specifically in our own state of Kentucky. But after seeing the horrible murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, I couldn't just sit back. So this past year, I was very lucky to get to join this board known as the Kentucky Department of Education Student Advisory Board. And our main mission this year has been to work with state educators on pushing for a curriculum that teaches students about the history of racism in America and allowing students to open up about their experiences and hardships with this issue.
Wow, Miles, your work sounds incredible and so interesting. I truly believe that education is key in making sure that we have a future that values and prioritizes racial justice. On that note, I'm so proud to share that I was able to work as a part of the diversity leadership team at Sacred Heart Academy with the West Meets East Club and Black Student Union to help inform our students about privilege, implicit bias, and different forms of identity through a workshop. This student planned and led workshop consisted of a presentation, an interactive activity, and small group discussions that allowed students and faculty to express their feelings, ask questions, and learn more about how to work towards racial justice using this newly presented information.
Wow, that's amazing, Valen. Hearing you talk about how you help inform students on topics like privilege, bias, through workshops is phenomenal. It makes me so optimistic about the future because I know that there are students watching us right now who are doing great service projects. Our community over the past year has been hit with a lot, but I know that with compassion in our hearts, anything is possible.
Absolutely, Miles. Compassion is a driving force in making change in our community. And I know that there are students watching us who have done incredible service works towards racial justice, and I can't imagine what they're going to do in the future. Well, it was great talking to you, Miles, and thank you so much for all your work. It was super interesting and super inspiring to hear about what you've done.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Valen. It's been such a pleasure to get to talk to you today about racial justice, but I know that there's going to be so many more exciting things that are going to be talked about on We Day today. So without further ado, back to you, We Day Studios.
Hi, We Day Kentucky. My name's Maya, and today I'm joined by activist group Mighty Shades of Ebony. Here representing, we have Cam and Jayus, as well as local artist and activist Jalen Stewart. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys today and hear about how you choose to advocate for racial justice through your music and art. So Jalen, you're an artist, and I just want to know, how do you use your art as a way to educate people in our community about racial justice?
Well, when I first started my artistry, I started painting victims of gun violence. And I started that mission, to talk about my own personal trauma and the things that I dealt with in my neighborhood and different households. And so I use that as a way to advocate and talk about many different issues that go on in not only my neighborhood, in not only Louisville, Kentucky, but cities in states all around this country. So I use my art to speak up and advocate for a lot of different things.
So the work that you're doing is incredibly important. And I'm just wondering, from your opinion, why is it dangerous to remain silent on the issues that are happening in our community?
Silence is deadly, especially in the state of Kentucky. You know, Kentucky is one of the most segregated states in America still to this day. And it's important for people to speak up, even if you are speaking about topics that you may necessarily not get support from or people don't agree with. You may speak up and you may do something or say something that change other people's lives. You know, it may help other individuals, especially people in positions of power. You know, this is a country where minorities have been oppressed for many, many, many years, generations. So we need people of power and in different positions to really speak up and advocate and help those who are often unheard of, and, you know, and unspoken.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to remind our audience that when you're fighting for something that you're passionate about, it's exciting and it can even be really fun. So, for example, you advocate for your art, but there are obviously many ways in which we can advocate for any sort of justice, especially racial justice. So I'm wondering, Jalen, how can young students find their niche or what they want to focus on?
My advice to students and adults, anyone, is to really just start with self. You know, I share, you know, some of my story and where I started. I started, you know, my work by just doing what I felt like I needed. So we won't know how to help other people until we identify the problems. So it's important to really unapologetically be yourself, you know, stand up, speak out for things that you feel like is right and things you may feel like is wrong. You never know whose life you can change by simply, you know, being yourself. So that's my advice to you.
Absolutely. And I think that's wonderful advice. And I think unapologetic should be the word of the day.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jalen. And Cam and Jayus, I know that you guys are also advocating for justice through your art, but your art is music. So as a music group, how do you use your talents as a way to advocate for justice?
We go to seminars and panel discussions, and we put all of those point of views into our raps.
Absolutely. I also think that it's important to research what we're doing, because creating the song is one thing, but it's important to communicate what we're trying to say effectively with information that's accurate.
Absolutely. And I love the work that you guys are doing, because I think that music is such an accessible and really fun way just to interact with advocacy. And it's great because this is, you know, for students and adults, and they can learn about the legacy of redlining. They can learn about environmental racism, food injustice. You guys have done a lot of work. So I just want to hear a little bit more about, would you walk me through your process?
We gather in groups and we go through each and everybody's point of view through with everything. And we talk about redlining, police brutality, and food justice.
Yeah, we all pick a topic that we're passionate about, and then we research what we're going to say and how we're going to say it. We sit down, we play the instrumental, just vibe a bit,
Right, yeah.
and then just write down what we want to say.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that research part takes a long time. And I love, again, the music that you guys are doing. And I think we keep hitting home that advocacy looks different for everyone. So what advice would you guys give to students that are passionate about creating change in their communities, but they might just not know where to start?
You can join an organization in your school, or you can hey, teacher, I want to learn about environmental justice, racism. Come on, teach us that.
Yeah, exactly. I think if I could go back in time and give myself advice, it would probably just be unapologetically you. Like we said, unapologetic is the word of the day. Just find something you're passionate about and just be you. You can't go wrong.
Well, thank you so much, Mighty Shades of Ebony and Jalen. So now let's see some of your work. Back to you, Alexis and Ben.
Red lines, black dollars reduced to dimes. They segregated our people, yeah, poverty leads to crime. Red lines, black dollars reduced to dimes. They segregated our people, yeah, poverty leads to crime. If you black and you want a new house, your loan denied. If you black and you want a new house, that is a plan to deprive. Your income becomes a non-factor, have it, have not. A sinister plot, they do anything for power. Anything. They do anything for power. Anything. They do anything for power. Anything. They do anything for power. They do anything for power. They do anything for power. is a sinister plan. Who is the invisible man? Fight back, Ralph Ellison? Ha, yes you can. Ungawa, ignite your black dollars, ignite your black power. I was reading NATO, somebody Richard Wright, and it occurred to me, lack of opportunity and hope leads to tragedy. Teach a man to fish, he will eat on that forever. Pacify his skills, he will always be indebted. Limit all his choices and back him in a corner. Black frying pan crashing down, now you a goner. They kill our people, but they say we a killer. They got more moves than Michael Jackson Thriller. One thing I know is something gotta change, or else one day I'ma go gorilla. They do anything for power. 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 Some people say don't speak on red. Some people say watch your mouth. We know that those people are mad when we speak. Ask the grouch. Red line, $5 reduced to dimes. They segregated our people, yeah. Poverty leads to crime. No more separate but equal. No more crushing up people. No more standing in line and making a change. It's time to adjust. We're changing the game. We won't stand for the okie doke little bit. No more happy with the Mr. T starter kit. Time to organize for your mind. Open up your eyes, seek and advise to create a new movement. Old red line, Fair Housing Act. 50 years later, new red line. Many hated facts. Old red line, Fair Housing Act. 50 years later, new red line. Many hated facts. Next conversation, new generation, gentrification, more degradation. Education leads to power. Education leads to power. Education leads to power. Education leads to power. We need to use our 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 power. In the United States and Canada, redlining is a systematic denial of various services such as home loans for residents of Black and Brown demographics. These loans are denied regardless of income. It is factually proven that across our country, whites and blacks have the same income are approved or denied according to their skin color. No ability to accumulate generational wealth leads to the American dream deferred. Ask Langston Hughes. Red line, $5 reduced to dimes. They segregated our people, yeah. Poverty leads to crime. Red line, $5 reduced to dimes. They segregated our people, yeah. Poverty leads to crime.
What an amazing interview with Jalen, and a powerful performance by Mighty Shades of Ebony. Thank you so much for that inspiring message. And thank you, Maya, for just being amazing. I had the pleasure of being interviewed on Youth Voices for Social Justice Q&A panel with Maya. So you all can catch that on our We Day YouTube channel if you want to hear more about that and other topics. Now I'd like to introduce Nyree Taylor, an amazing educator and 2019 Kentucky Teacher of the Year.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Nyree Clayton Taylor, and I'm the 2019 Kentucky Elementary Teacher of the Year and the co-founder and co-director of Justice Now. I am so happy that you are participating in this beautiful program, We Day, and I cannot wait. I mean, really and truly, I cannot wait to see all the beautiful and wonderful things every student in Kentucky is going to do. You are going to change the world. You, Y-O-U, you're going to change the world, and I'm going to be your biggest supporter. So let's get it. We Day, We Day. It's We Day.
Yes, Miss Taylor, it is We Day. And I actually got to work very closely with Max members Ade and Brianna, and they're joining us today to show you an amazing video that they produced. So let's give it up for them.
Hi, Kentucky We Day. My name is Brianna Johnson.
And I'm Adelaide K. Goring, and we're representatives of the Muhammad Ali Center Council of Students, or MAX.
MAX is a collective of youth activists who learn to lead and serve their community through Muhammad Ali's 6 core principles: confidence, conviction, dedication, spirituality, giving, and respect.
We're here to show you around Truth Be Told, an exploration of the impact that public policies have had on the Black community in America from the days of slavery up until present day.
This exhibit illustrates how public policy has been weaponized against Black people for generations. For 246 years, Black people's rights were stifled by slave codes during slavery. After slavery ended, discriminatory hiring and wage practices created a significant wealth gap. This wealth gap only widened as Black students were 3.9 times more likely to be expelled under zero tolerance policies, enabling the school to prison pipeline. Outside of the school to prison pipeline, I have personally witnessed Black students fall behind because they were not provided with the adequate resources to succeed. As more Black people suffered from the school to prison pipeline and a lack of resources, the media perpetuated racism through stereotyping and minstrel shows. The tarnished image of Black people in the media spurred redlining, which caused Black people to live in the most undesirable locations or in public housing.
Black people have a higher incidence of high blood pressure, asthma, and other conditions when compared with the majority population. For example, Black people were forced to live in housing oftentimes infested by roaches, which cause asthma and other conditions. A lot of these disparities were established through legislation, specifically in the periods of Reconstruction, Jim Crow, and civil rights. Many laws and policies restricted the rights of Black people. After slavery, Black people have continued to be incarcerated at staggeringly high rates. 1 in 3 Black men will be incarcerated versus 1 in 17 white men. 5% of illicit drug users are Black, yet Black people make up 29% of those incarcerated for drug charges. So we urge you, Kentucky We Day, to learn the true histories of the policies that have impacted Black people and other marginalized communities.
Show what you've learned and listen.
Vote for the people who will make the right decisions for everyone in this country. Innovation and exploration are how we shift our society into one that is magnificent and equitable. We hope to see you at the Ollie Center.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ade and Brianna, for that amazing video. Responding to the 6 core references of Muhammad Ali: confidence, conviction, dedication, respect, giving, and spirituality. Keep fighting for justice and making your voices heard. And you all can all go see that exhibit at the Muhammad Ali Center. It is up right now, so definitely go check that out.
Sure.
And now we're gonna hear from Ariane for a little bit of social media check-in.
Hello, We Day. It's Ariane once again, and I just wanted to share with you guys the results from our poll. So the question was, who made this famous statement? I am not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being. So there were 3 answer choices. A was Congressman John Lewis, B was Harriet Tubman, and C was Major League Baseball player Jackie Robinson. And the correct answer was Jackie Robinson. So you got that one right. If you chose C, you got it right. And I also want to share a fun fact with you, a We Day fun fact. So did you know that We Day Kentucky has touched students in 83 counties and cumulatively resulted in 3 million service hours? That is amazing. Back to you, Alexis.
Thanks, Ariane. Those are amazing fun facts. I can't believe it. So the 3 issues that we talked about together here today are so very important. And I hope you're feeling inspired because I know that I definitely am. Are you, Ben?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling inspired, and it's been an incredible show, Alexis. I mean, what was the highlight for you?
I really loved Mighty Shades of Ebony, the song Redlining.
Yeah.
And I also talking about mental health and self-care was very inspirational for me. It's definitely a topic that everyone feels. So we need
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the words that Jalen Stewart shared on starting with self is so important because in this world that we're in right now, where everybody's at the same kind of meeting ground on the internet, there's a lot of pressure to like be different or unique, and really the most unique you can be is being yourself because you're the only one that's lived your story, that's lived your path. So I really like that. Of course, I love the Louisville Leopards. I think that's just such an amazing thing. What other highlights do you have?
I also Chase's performance.
Well,
and
I mean-
getting a sneak peek of you in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That
I was
was
really
super
happy to be part of that. for sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. I didn't even know that you were in there. So I was
Well,
excited to see.
my biggest hope though, coming out of this, seeing all of this amazing young talent, is that we can get together in person next year and be able to celebrate together, not just the next years of service, but the previous years of service, like the things that you're doing right now to help each other out, that feel like small things, but are very, very important. Let's see here. Well, let's see here. I think now we just need to pass it off, right?
I think so too, man.
All right, we need to pass it off to our friends Bailey. Oh no, we have a We Day shout out video, I believe, from Maestro J and Wendy Sergio.
So let's give it up for them.
Oh, and it looks like we have a special guest in the studio.
I think you all are gonna like this one.
Oh, our friendly We Day mascot Clover's here.
Speak truth, speak power, love, peace, joy, justice. Yo, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all my We Day family, all of you awesome people who are doing amazing things, being so creative to help out your communities. Don't stop. Keep standing up for others, for social issues that you believe in. Stay engaged, my friends. Stay aware of our ever-changing world so you can go beyond compassion, so you can push for change, be the change. And while you do that, don't forget to be you. Let's go.
Hey, We Day. We brought the We Day mascot with us. It's her first appearance. I hope that you all have had an amazing day. We sure have. There's been so much great advice shared. I hope that you will think about it. Think about the advice about change, doing small things with great love, and using what you're passionate about to do something about things that you would like to change. That's really super important. Getting back to what the mayor said, this is Give a Day week in the Louisville area. It's actually Give a Day month. So remember, any act of kindness, any form of service you can do counts. Our call to action this year has been to encourage everybody to try to help fight food insecurity in their neighborhood. So anybody who wants to donate to a local shelter, a local group that's helping fight food insecurity, please do that. We all need to do our part. So my final thank yous for the day, before we go, I just want to again say thank you to our community partners. I want to give a huge shout out to Ben and Alexis. Woo! Amazing co-hosts. And I want to thank the YMCA and to Bissig Impact Group today for bringing the magic and letting us bring We Day to you. And then finally, to our incredible youth board. I have been so lucky to work with them for, some of them even 4 years. And they have put so much of themselves into this program today. Even though you didn't see everybody on camera, there were many you didn't see who were doing phenomenal work. And it's been a joy. They are truly leaders of today, not just leaders of tomorrow. So thank you all. And now I'm going to introduce, again, some of these board members, our co-chairs, Caden Mulrooney and Andrew Kelmanson, for a few final words.
What's up, everybody? So we hope you guys have had an awesome We Day so far. So first off, we want to give a huge thanks to the members on the We Day Youth Board. They have worked so tirelessly to bring you guys the best possible We Day experience during these crazy times.
And we also want to give a huge shout out to the teachers out there. You guys are the ones making things happen during this crazy year, and your students thank you a lot more than you think they do. So you guys are amazing and you guys are rock stars. And I also want to say, since I am the social media gal, keep following us on Instagram at Youth Voices KY and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube to see this whole show in its recording.
Yeah, and so as we close up, we want to bring another amazing We Day Youth Board member, Bailey Reed, to close us out with some thoughts.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. This year, we have truly learned to expect the unexpected. 2020 into 2021 was a year none of us truly could have predicted.
With the start of the pandemic, we all became appreciative of the little things we didn't know we would miss. Family, friends, the comfort of having company. But spending so much time at home brought us into a new age of curiosity for the world around us. We asked ourselves, how can we fix these issues around us and make positive change? Out of curiosity came compassion, and from the depths of many issues we faced came major strides in improving the world around us. We explored issues with climate change and deteriorating sustainability, as well as prioritizing mental health and challenging the norms around racial profiling and discrimination. We proved this year that anything is possible. Positive change is possible. Through the advocacy, service, and research put in by all of you at home, we helped make our community a better place. We are the change makers. People are truly the monuments of our world, and this year we have learned to build them up and stand with them. Of course, we still have a long way to go. However, we would never have come as far as we have without you. You are the strength, beauty, and compassion behind the we movement. You are what turns the me into we. So thank you for breaking boundaries this year. Thank you for following your heart and sticking up for others. And lastly, thank you all for the hard work and service you've contributed to help us grow as a community, both on a local and national scale. Remember, we are the change, we are the love, and we are the future.
All right, we've made it. It is time for the finale. We've got a really special finale put together that I'm very excited about.
Really special guests. So today we have Eve Michael and Joss Ford, aka Persona, returning for the finale, along with some amazing local artists, Maestro J, Carly Johnson, Justin Lewis, Ray Keys, and Raul, the beatbox.
But of course, he's helped us start off this show, so it seems only fitting that he would help us end it. So we're going to bring Chase Dean back to the stage to sing for us, lead the singing of this We Day finale. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Follow us on the socials, and we will see you all very, very soon. All right, time to start the countdown.
Ready?
All right.
See, Billy got picked on his things he couldn't change. He tried his best to play it cool, but in the 7th grade, you either fit right in or you don't fit. That's just the cold hard truth. I wish that I had been that friend that Billy never knew.
I think it's time to come together, you and I, let's take a change. Maybe we can make a difference in the world a better place. Look around and love somebody who's been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us in this country that we love, undivided.
Yeah. You either like the Cars or you're rooting for the Cats. Hispanic, Asian, Native American, white or black, doesn't matter who you are. Best believe I got your back. If you living in the city, you family, and that's a fact.
When we gonna learn to live in someone's shoes sometimes? When we gonna one else's eyes?
It's time to come together, you and I, let's make a change. Maybe we can
Make a difference.
the world a better place.
Look around and help somebody. Let the good Lord reunite us, undivided. We're all the same to God, no matter what we get is love. I'm tired of looking left or right, so I'm just looking up.
Together, you and I can make a change. Maybe
We can make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. Let the good Lord reunite us, country that we love. love's undivided. Oh, undivided. Undivided. Oh, undivided. Oh, undivided.
Happy We Day! They can't hear the